Now, as we do so many weeks here at the Daily Dose, we need to get to our Daily Dose top 5. Hey, Thanksgiving is a national holiday that is celebrated on various dates in the United States, Canada, Grenada, St. Lucia, and Liberia. It began as a day of giving thanks for the blessings of the harvest of the preceding year. Similarly named festival holidays occur in Germany, they occur in Japan. You know, George Washington actually proclaimed the first nationwide Thanksgiving celebration in America, marking November 26th, 1789, as a day of public thanksgiving and prayer to be observed by acknowledging with grateful hearts the many favors of Almighty God. But Thanksgiving in the United States has been observed on different dates. From the time of the Founding Fathers with George Washington until the time of Lincoln, the date of observance varied state to state here in the USA. President Abraham Lincoln set a national Thanksgiving by proclamation for the final Thursday in November back in the 1870s. But then, in 1939, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed a presidential proclamation changing the holiday to the next to last Thursday in November in an effort to boost the economy prior to the Christmas holiday in December. And here in the United States, it is very, very common to get together for Thanksgiving with family and friends, and the way we celebrate is with a lot of food and some football. We usually serve turkey or maybe ham. We have a huge meal, lots of side dishes, lots of desserts to celebrate all that we have been blessed with over the previous year. So this is Thanksgiving week, and honestly, I have personally so much to be grateful for. You know, most of us do when you really stop and think about it. Maybe it's our health. Maybe it's our family. Maybe it's your significant other or your job or your freedom. Maybe it's your kids, your parents, your friends. So many of the things that we talked about today on The Dose in the world of sports, it is a very healthy thing, mentally, emotionally, to be grateful for all that we have. Hey, if you are able to get together this Thursday with family and friends in a warm home and break bread together, be grateful. And yet, there are certain aspects to this holiday that might not always be the most fun. There are certain very specific things that when it comes to Thanksgiving, I personally would like to tweak just a little, maybe get rid of. I swear, I'm not being ungrateful. I'm really not. I am truly blessed. But this week, our Daily Dose Top 5 is going to count down the top 5 worst things about Thanksgiving. And again, this is not me being ungrateful. I'm just saying there are some things that could be improved a little bit. We start off at number 5. Look, if we are naming our favorite part about Thanksgiving, we're kind of going to talk about the food, right? So whether your family does a traditional turkey or maybe ham, or whatever you may choose to cook for Thanksgiving, this holiday does kind of center around food, right? There are usually potatoes, gravy, stuffing, macaroni and cheese, green bean casserole. You've got pumpkin pie, you've got apple pie, you've got cherry pie. A couple of observations about Thanksgiving food that I have real briefly. First off, if you say you don't like turkey because it's too dry, it's not actually the turkey you should be mad at. It is the cook. Brine that bird, you will have the most delicious turkey of your life. Don't complain because you don't know how to cook. Second, for all of the delicious food that we do have on Thanksgiving, here is our number 5 entry. What is with cranberry sauce? Now, I am not saying you don't know how to cook it or whatever. I've had the sweetened stuff. I've had the cranberry sauce with the sugar and the orange juice. And you can even put in like lemon zest, or you can put in orange liqueur, whatever you want to do with it. Cranberries are a bitter, bitter fruit. Even worse than cranberries, actual cranberries, is that canned gelatinous crap that people pour out of the can and then they cut into slices. I am not sure how cranberries got all mixed up and intertwined into Thanksgiving, but I don't like it. And I'm not eating it. You can have it if you want to. But for me, one of the worst things about Thanksgiving is cranberries. You can have it. keep it to yourself. Cranberry sauce comes in today at number 5. I will move on to number 4. And when we think of Thanksgiving, we think of primarily the 3 F's here in America: food, football, and family, right? And yet, we all know that certain members of your family, well, they're going to be a little rough to hang out with. Maybe it's that aunt that can't cook one single bit, but she's going to be bringing one of your favorite dishes and ruining it for you. Maybe it's the grandpa that takes the football games that are on way too seriously, and yet the more you listen to him, the more you realize how little they actually know about football and how little they know about what is actually going on in the game. Oh, but they're going to be mad about it, whatever happens. Or maybe it's that uncle that couldn't be more excited that Donald Trump just announced his candidacy for the 2024 election, and he's going to tell all of you how you should vote. Maybe it is that sister-in-law that wears her masks between bites of food and demands to see your proof of vaccination before you're allowed to enter the premises. Hey, we all love our families, right? And yet, some of those family members, we don't see them all the time. It's not by accident. If we liked you, we would see you more than just at Thanksgiving and just at Christmas, right? We keep it to twice a year on purpose because they can be a lot to take. And yet right now, we know we're going to have to see you twice within the next month. Those annoying family members, they can be painful to deal with on Thanksgiving, and they come in today at number 4. We arrive at number 3. And again, I don't want to come off today as being ungrateful in our top 10. I swear that is not the spirit of this list. And yet, sometimes Thanksgiving can have some aspects to it that can be a little difficult to take. And that is the case here in our number 3 entry. Because you arrive at the home for the celebration, right? Football's on. The food smells amazing. We grab a drink. We settle into a chair, maybe in a corner, as far from those weird family members as we can get. And then we're all called to the table and someone says, hey, everyone, how about this year we go around the table and say one thing that we're each thankful for? Now, there are a few problems with this scenario. And they aren't about not being thankful, not at all. They are simply this. You are putting people into a situation of having to do some public speaking. People who might not be very good at it. And here's the result. Awkward stammering, political or religious views, or, and this might be the worst one of them all, the poor attempt at being funny. And now we all get to cringe and stare at our plates like that flower design on that plate is the most interesting thing in the world because we do not want to look up and make eye contact with anyone. It's horrible. It's painful. A little free advice. Just have someone write down a prayer, something to read before your meal if you're going to do something like that. Because asking people who are not comfortable speaking in that way or good at speaking that way in public, this is just absolutely brutal for everyone. Doing the little round the table, let's all say something we're thankful for, it's painful. And it comes in today at number 3. We arrive at the number 2 worst thing about the Thanksgiving holiday. And this one, it's starting to fade a little bit in recent years, but it's still pretty tough to take. Again, you arrive at Thanksgiving, you're having a great time, the food is good, the games are at least interesting, and then someone announces they need to cut out early because they have to brace up for their big midnight camping trip for Black Friday. Ugh, please just stop. Hey, if you tell me that you're going to be braving the elements to sit outside of a Walmart for Black Friday because they have the best deals on flat screen TVs, you may have lost your mind. I'm just being honest. Because that $400 TV, it's worth $8 tops, but you're going to sleep outside and then get into a fight with some psycho because you're fighting over this TV that you really don't need. And worse, a lot of times you're not fighting over a flat screen TV. You're fighting over a $4 toaster. Just go shop online. Avoid all that junk. Going out for Black Friday is completely insane these days. And it comes in today at number 2. So we reach the number one thing about one of my personal favorite holidays, Thanksgiving, that actually isn't so good, and this is a big one. And trust me on this, it is deserving of the number one spot. Because we already talked about the 3 F's of Thanksgiving. Food, that's a big one. Family, also important. And yes, football. And for number one, we have to go with that 3rd F, because every year we get the NFL on Thanksgiving. Great. But each and every year, we get those terrible Detroit Lions. And the Lions are traditionally one of the worst franchises in all of sports. They've never been to a Super Bowl. Their overall winning percentage as a franchise is 43%. Their record in that Thanksgiving Day game is 37, 46, and 2. Now, I know the NFL and sports personalities tell us, hey, you might not realize it, but the Detroit Lions are actually pretty good on Thanksgiving. Do you know what the Thanksgiving winning percentage is of 37, 46, and 2? Yeah, it's 43%. The same kind of terrible that they are every other game and every other year. This franchise has broken some of the greatest players in the history of the league in Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson. Why do we reward them with the Thanksgiving game every year? It is so bad, in fact, that the NFL schedules them at 10 a.m., at least Mountain Time, because they want to get that dreadful game out of the way early. They put it up against the Macy's Day Parade. Look, I'm not thrilled at having to watch the Dallas Cowboys every year. That's bad enough. Oh, but the Lions? That's just mean. Oh, and by the way, I know why they do it. Because no one else wants to do it. And yet, we are usually guaranteed one terrible game every Thanksgiving. And usually, that game is the first game on the docket. And usually, that game involves that terrible team from Detroit that tells us every year they're finally going to turn it around this year. Little spoiler alert. No, you're not. The Detroit Lions are my least favorite part about Thanksgiving. Okay, YouTube, be sure you go over and you check out the rest of the podcast this week on The Dose. It is Thanksgiving like we're talking about, and don't worry, we aren't all negative this week. In fact, we'll actually be telling you all that we are thankful for in the world of sports. And trust me on this, there is plenty. Plus, we have some sports news for you too, so be sure you go over and you listen to the full podcast. I will leave a link here in the comments on YouTube for you. Hope you all are doing well. I will see you all next Wednesday. Have a great week and have a very safe and a very happy Thanksgiving.